And Melissa, it is due to make landfall in Jamaica in the next 2 hours. It has already been called the storm of the century, with ferocious winds, flooding, landslides and storm surges all expected to hit in the coming hours.
Woke up this morning feeling so blessed, yes. Destruction all around, but I know it's a test, yes. I really want to smile and I'm doing my best, yes. But deep inside I'm losing my happiness. 'Cause when the wind blows and the rain falls, it could be a hurricane, but I will stand up tall. There's power in me, and my God doesn't fail, no. So you could be a hurricane, I will still prevail.
You know, bubbles are invisible to those who live in them, right? And sometimes it's those who are standing outside who can see them most clearly.
Before we conclude that Hurricane Melissa is just another man-made disaster for a land grab, let's just look at history and see who benefits.
First, what's happening in Jamaica right now, because nobody is talking about the coincidence, the shocking coincidence, that Jamaica signed on to do and now is experiencing this Category 5 hurricane that's wiped out the frickin' island.
Nobody make it. It's nature.
They have been deliberately murdered in the name of natural disaster. Syphilis, as you know it, was created in a lab and injected unmelanated men in prison.
It's precarious in situations like this where dead stop traffic going into places like Black River, because fuel is obviously something that is quite limited and on a lot of folks' minds.
Now, it's been a few weeks since Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica, and I've seen quite a few videos on social media from raging conspiracies to quite reasonable questions that people have been asking. So I've decided to put together this video focusing mainly on, I think it was a TikTok live or an Instagram live done by dancehall selector Footahype. And I decided to use this particular video, or to center my video around him, because I think he has some very interesting takes on the hurricane. Make your own mind up.
Jamaica. Many parts of the country are still without vital supplies, and anger is growing at a perceived lack of action by the government there. Our correspondent Robert Moore has just sent us this update from White House, one area among many where that aid is desperately needed.
And if you're there or watch the recovery after the fact, so the disaster gone, and you don't realize, say, this thing here is actually a business move and not a humanitarian move.
This is a failure to manage the size of the disaster after the fact, but it's not an individual Andrew Holness failure. It's a collective set of failure by successive governments over decades to realize that the model of disaster preparedness is outdated and want to upgrade. Them ignore it. When them did know, say, every other year the hurricane them seem to get worse. Hold it lead up on both sides. Ignore the warning sign them and still a teach the same like a stupid way to prepare for some like a rain when it does fall.
If you notice how the government operate, the government want all these people to die. If you have your eye open and your brain at work and your ears at work and you hear the things that are being said and you see what going on and you don't realize, say, it's a clear, intentional event to kill the people. First thing we gotta talk about. America sending a plane with about 300 people or more. I don't know the exact number. See? them bring the plane full of food. Why them a cook the food? Why them bring the food and a cook the food and just a share out the food? As a government, did we have any of our lab technicians or any scientists from Jamaica run a test from them food here to see if any virus in the food, if any COVID traits in the food, if anything were going to hurt the people them in the food? You see, sympathy and soft-heartedness allow you to be submissive to poison and murder and mayhem. Martin, always remember the movie name Try. Listening up. Always remember the movie name Try.
Originating from ancient tales of cunning strategy, this theory illustrates how a seemingly innocuous object can conceal significant threats. Picture a colossal wooden horse crafted with care, standing at the gates of a great city, a gift that echoes generosity yet harbors treachery within. Beneath its polished surface lies the sinister intent of those who devised it, ready to strike from within as unsuspecting victims celebrate. This duality of appearance and reality beckons contemplation in various spheres, from cybersecurity to political maneuvering. In today's context, the theory warns us to scrutinize what appears too good to be true, reminding us that under the surface often hides a labyrinth of complexities waiting to be unraveled.
What does beware of Greeks bearing gifts mean? Have you ever heard the saying, beware of Greeks bearing gifts? This phrase has its roots in ancient Greek mythology, specifically tied to the legendary Trojan War. It serves as a cautionary tale about trusting those who may have hidden motives. The story begins with the Greeks, who were locked in a long and grueling siege against the city of Troy. After years of fighting, they devised a clever plan to infiltrate the city. The Greeks constructed a massive wooden horse, which they presented to the Trojans as a gift. The Trojans, believing they had finally won the war, brought the horse into their city as a trophy. However, this seemingly innocent act was a ruse. Inside the horse were Greek soldiers hiding, waiting for the right moment to strike. Under the cover of darkness, these soldiers emerged, opened the gates of Troy, and allowed the Greek army to enter the city. This led to the fall of Troy and marked a significant turning point in the war. The phrase, beware of Greeks bearing gifts, has evolved over time into a proverb. It warns people to be cautious when accepting gifts or favors from those who may not have the best intentions. This idea is especially relevant in the context of warfare and military strategy in ancient civilizations. The Trojan horse exemplifies how deception can be a powerful weapon in battle. Throughout history, military leaders have studied this tactic as a prime example of strategic warfare. The Greeks used cunning and manipulation to lower the defenses of their enemy. This method of warfare emphasizes the importance of vigilance and skepticism when dealing with potential adversaries.
Over 10 years, me are telling up on the Instagram something here. Say be careful of the ones who come bearing gifts. You see, when Babylon wants something, they will go to any length to get what they want. Don't forget, say, in Africa, them use AIDS and kill billions of people. Don't forget, say, in Africa, them use Ebola and kill millions of people. Don't forget, say, syphilis, as you know it, was created in a lab and injected on melanated men in prison, and then they were released into the streets to go and have sex with melanated ladies and spread syphilis across the world. Now we have syphilis I deal with today as a disease where people think say God created. Make we think. When you remember over LA, they saw them poison the water. Them cut off the water, carry water go give the people them. That time the whole of the water them give the people them poison. Now Jamaican people have a tendency, because them we see the bottle of water here, and because them drink it and them not drop down same time, Them not understand say poison.
Never prescribe to conspiracy what could be explained through incompetence.
Yeah.
Right? That is one of those are two fundamental guidelines that we follow all the time, right? The simplest answer is oftentimes the best, and never prescribe to conspiracy what can be explained through incompetence.
Well, can you elaborate what you mean by we?
We as
beings?
As intelligence professionals.
So you think there's a deep truth to that that second razor?
There is more than a deep truth. There's ages of experience for me and for others. And
so
for,
in general, people are incompetent. If left to their own means, they're more incompetent than they are malevolent at a large organizational scale.
People are more incompetent of executing a conspiracy than they are of competently executing a conspiracy.
So I am saying to you, our beloved government who accepting these food we are going to just eat. So did we get any of our medical professionals to test if these food have any ingredients that not supposed to go into the human body? Did that happen? Them just fly down with the food from plane and them are cook it, them are cook it, And I like them bring the food, and say Jamaican people see food and they go cook, I set up and them are cook it. The same American them are cook the food. And a geek figure distribute. So we just are run because we are suffer and just go with your hands stretch out with no precaution and no question, no, because we're in a devastating state now. We should just accept, just stretch out your hand and accept anything, so. I want to not think. Nobody no stop. All of these people where we have here, how much $1 million a month, we say them are government, them not think about the people, them, Because if you think about the people, them, you'd have to test them food there before you throw them food up on the people, them. Only I find it strange. Say, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Palestine have the biggest war going down there. But the first convoy of medical practitioners and help, I come from Israel. Nothing about that is strange. Nothing about that is strange. Israel has sent a full team of medical people. Oh, them not send no handyman. Oh, them not send no carpenter. Oh, Israel not send no man with a bushwhacker. Oh, them not send no deep sea diver figure look if them see no body in the water them. The first convoy where Israel has sent a medical. That means them come inject people and dress people and nothing wrong with that.
Breaking news that's just coming out of Israel this hour, okay? And Jamaica, regarding to the hurricane that happened in Jamaica. Israel are sending 40 of their medical staff to help in Jamaica. And this have got a lot of people talking on social media. Why? A lot of people are saying because of this. You remember when Israeli doctors were being accused, their pathologists were being accused of harvesting organs of innocent patients within their care. Yes, you heard that right. So a lot of people are going on X, previously known as Twitter, and making complaint that Jamaicans should be very careful who they allow into their country to come and help them, because most of these Israeli doctors might actually be an agent, Mossad agent, coming to harvest the heart of their people.
No suspicion, but me I wonder if Jamaican people just through we under a crisis now. We don't focus again. We don't focus. We not look out our yet. That's one thing. We don't realize, say, the government not in or not ears to save no life. We don't realize that. You people don't realize that the government of Jamaica is not interested in saving any lives. Here why you know so them now want to save no life now. All of the places where them are say road block off, so, and it's impossible to get to the people. Regular civilian I get to the people. So how uno can get to the people? Regular civilian will just car and bike, regular resources. I get to the people them. So how the government with all the equipment and all the resources can't get to the people them?
And the people them who's part of that infrastructure, like let's say fireman and nurse and all kind of, hospital, etc. Nobody had a plan for when that if have a disaster will affect them directly too, like them homeless too. Them not no like, them not have all of them get affected. Them can't even go to the affected areas. I just think we've never seen something like this. There is nothing we ever prepared in the history of the country for something like this. Mrs. Savlamar Hospital roof lift like it's a hot man to take off. Me not think we did prepare. We never ever yet imagined this beyond anything where we could have ever imagined. So
I am not here to cause ruckus and crocus, Zine, but I'm still not here to be a submissive lunatic. I am not here to think like a desperate slave begging for crumbs. I have been instilled with the gift of vision and the gift of discernment. God bless me to be able to comb through certain things and see behind the smoke screen. So I cannot come on here and speak like a regular vlogger. And I don't come here to look at money from TikTok or Instagram. And that me I look for. No, most of these Jamaican people here talk the good talk and afraid to address what the real issues are just some slaves where if they live on a plantation and I try escape, we would have to kill them first. Because they are detractors of the truth. I'm going to show you one small instant. Let me know so the Jamaica government, I go through with them plan and they do not care about nobody life. Zin? There's a video circulating in social media. How you can go look for it if you know want. Zin? A whole entire community is covered by water. When I say covered by water, I mean it they are knee height, or ankle height, or waist height, or shoulder height, or head height. The water is covering the roof. The house top them covered with water. Wanna listen to what I'm saying, bro? The entire community, the house top them covered with water, and the water is getting higher by the minute. So ask yourself this question. How is that area not one of the #1 areas of concern for the government? How many people are dead in those houses? Why is that area not a main concern to the government? I hear the Prime Minister of Jamaica urging the citizens in the unaffected areas, or the areas that were slightly affected, to go back to work and school right now. Because the economy has to grow. Who do not see nothing wrong with that? Mr. Holness, let me ask you the magic question. If everybody in the unaffected areas should go back to work and go back to school, with the rate of how you are responding to these atrocities and to the way how after Footahype the things them at that time when you start respond to what me I say, what would happen to the people in the affected areas? Because as far as me can see, you can see, the blind man can see, the deaf man can see, and God can see. Are the people in the unaffected areas, Kingston, Spanish Town, Outer East, at them, at Drive Go, at Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth, go donate and help and save life and feed people. So if you send back all of the people them in the unaffected areas back to school and work, who the mama bomber pussy rasclat I go a country go help the people them.
Persons who are opposed to us going back to school and going back to work, get that out of your mind. Get the economy up and running right away. That is the only way we are going to be able to fund the recovery quickly. And
answer the magic question there. Answer the magic question there. If you ask me, the country should have done a shutdown, and all efforts and strength and voluntary service, everything should be focused on the western end of Jamaica.